Good morning. Hello, welcome to this live stream. And this is a bit unusual. I've never really done this before. And coming up to a conference, we're talking about Commsverse. That starts in maybe about 2 weeks' time, 15 days' time, something like that. Although there are some pre-days. I'll talk about those in a minute. I've talked about those on a previous video as well. Anyway, I, before a conference, tend to, like everyone else, I guess, go through the schedule list, go through the agenda, try and work out what sessions I want to see. And I was going to do a blog post. I often do like a blog post about, what sessions I'm looking forward to and stuff like that. And I thought I'd do that this time. And then I thought, actually, why don't I just kind of live stream the whole process of me going through and looking at sessions and talking about the things that I find interesting about different session content. There's a few things here, actually. So I think, regardless of how you think you're going to attend any conference, and maybe Commsverse in particular if you're doing it in person, I would fill what I tend to do anyway, and like you do what you got to do, right? But for me, what works is I tend to fill up the schedule or the agenda with all the things I want to, which is not necessarily also the things that I'm going to see. So I might have a completely packed agenda by the time I finish, including maybe even some overlapping sessions. And then when it actually gets to the day, I might go to half of those because other things happen. I might see people I want to talk to. I might run into people I have impromptu meetings with. The course of the day may change. It doesn't matter. That agenda is a really good reference point for me of the things I wanted to see or the things that I thought I'd find interesting. And that means that I can go back and watch them on demand. And that is true for virtual attendees as well. You should still do this process, still make the time to really go through the schedule and pick out what's important ahead of time. Because, well, two things really. The first, you don't want to be making instant split-second decisions. At 1 minute to 9, what's the 9 o'clock session I want to watch? You can do a better job of that if you have a bit more visibility up front. And secondly, you, even as virtual attendees, you are not going to get a chance to see everything in your agenda because work happens, life happens, things get in the way. And so having that list of here are the sessions I wanted to attend, I think that's really useful. Okay, let's get into it. So this is what I'm looking at on my screen at the moment. This is the Commsverse website. The schedule is all live and has been for a little while. Just a quick reminder, actually, that the pre-events start from today. So from today, there is a Teams Voice as a Service Day happening. It's going to start really soon, actually. And so look out for that, if that sounds interesting to you. But I'm going to come down here to the collaboration day. So this is the one we're going to focus on today. This is like the day one of the two in-person days. Collaboration day. So this is the full session list. So again, you can just click here and go to it, but I already had it open in a tab. This is the full list, and actually this is across all of the days. So I can see everything that's going on each of the pre-days, and then also on the days that I'm interested in. So I'm going to filter it by just this day one that we're interested in. And then I've got some choices because, there's a lot of sessions here. And I might go through them all. I might be interesting to kind of see which ones are live, which ones are in person. I think a lot of these are being shown as hybrid, which completely makes sense. So I did a video previously where I talked about what it meant to be a hybrid event, and all of the in-person sessions are also going to be available online. So it's not immediately obvious, and I don't think it should make any difference really whether or not the speaker for your session is going to be there in the flesh, if you like, or whether they're going to be attending and presenting remotely. Doesn't really matter. I don't think it should really impact too much into the decision making of the sessions that you choose. So right, let's look at this then. So first up, we've got the keynote. We have to go to the keynote. And Caruana's doing the keynote. So this is going to be a good session. Oh, and Ilya as well. Fantastic. So these are both Microsofties. They're both heavily in the team space. There's an awful lot going on here. So Caruana does loads with customer advocacy. Ilya is pretty much in charge. I think he is in charge of Microsoft Teams devices. So between the two of them, talking about hybrid workplace, talking about using Microsoft Teams, this is a must attend for me, I think. So I'm just going to click add to my agenda. So this is what I tend to do. So if I think I'm going to want to attend it, I'll just click add to my agenda, and then at the end I'll review. This is my agenda here, actually opened on a new tab. I'll review, and then you can sort of see any overlaps, and you can see any kind of clashes, and then you can make some hard choices about what you want to do. So this is going to be, obviously I don't want to call anyone out specifically as being, good or bad. I think a lot of these speakers I haven't heard speak before, but a lot have. I'm going to pick out a few that I know are kind of going to be good and going to be interesting, and I probably will just go through all of these. So these are nicely split into different, I guess they're tracks. Yeah, they are. So different tracks. So I'll go through each track and pick out a few, and I'll try not to pay too much attention to the timing of each session, because that lets you, well, for me anyway, this works because it lets me make decisions based on the content rather than like how bad or otherwise it schedules into my existing agenda. So for adoption, there's lots of good sessions here. I'm immediately drawn to Laurie's because so Laurie is our community for MVPs in the team space. She's our community lead. So this is kind of interesting because she will have an awful lot of insight into kind of how people use Teams and Microsoft Teams to stay engaged and to understand what's going on and talking about reporting. So I think like the team she leads as well and the team she runs are kind of, I think, as far as I'm aware, pretty disparate in terms of geographies as well. So I think that'd be interesting to kind of see hear Laurie's take on kind of everything that's been going on. So I'm going to pop that in the agenda. What else have we got? So these look good as well. It's hard, like, so as a developer, I do care about adoption, don't get me wrong. But like, I care more about the kind of like how development can drive adoption and stuff like that. So this is interesting because this question posed, a daily problem or a content opportunity. I might just read the see if there's a good like abstract here. So talking about challenges of keeping up with Teams and 365, that's interesting. So this is more about keeping up to date, actually. So using a team to keep colleagues up to date about Teams. So that's interesting. Yeah, that's quite interesting. So like how to take the content, everything that's available about all the things that are changing with Teams and 365, and how to kind of keep the user base informed. That's quite interesting. So I might just pop. This is the problem. I end up with everything, like from the entire like session, the entire agenda. I end up with it all in. Everything from the whole conference. I end up in my agenda. But okay. And again, this looks interesting. I might come back to this one rather than adding everything in straight away. This particular session does look quite interesting, actually. I like this idea of, it's demo heavy. That's nice. Concrete examples of how you can... I am going to pop this in, actually, because this does look really good. So this is a session for team leaders and HR managers, anyone who wants to improve the employee experience. Okay, I might just pop that one in as well. All right, we should move on to a different track. Otherwise, the whole thing is going to be all adoption. Advanced technology. Okay, so all three of these are good sessions by the look of it. I'm kind of drawn to this, so I've seen some demos of this already. I'm keen. Well, so this is going to be really interesting, actually, from Matt, and I think I've seen this demonstration already. So it's possible there've been some changes since then, but I don't think so. So I might add this, but I probably won't go to it in person. I might catch the on demand just to make sure, just because I've seen it already, I think. So that's interesting. Do you need to record every call a user makes? Oh, I don't know. So this sounds interesting, but probably kind of outside the sphere of my, maybe slightly outside the sphere of my interest or influence, or, you've got to draw a line somewhere. It's quite interesting that there's the flexibility of a compliance recording API, but don't need to record calls all the time. So you can do smart recording rules. So by a specific user or service account, or the subject. That's kind of interesting. I might come back to that one and see. Automation stuff. Okay, so some good speakers here. So Yannick is going to be interesting. So Yannick is a superb Teams developer and very kind of vocal and loads of good content. So I'm kind of probably going to pop him in the agenda. Pesky clickety people. Yes. Oh, I love that. I love this abstract. Hashtag winner chicken dinner. I mean, that's going in the agenda right now. That's going to be a fun session. And so lists and teams, we've got building intelligent bots. That's kind of interesting. So I'm not sure. So I think this will be interesting. So it'll be good to kind of see actually how Prashant presents this stuff. I'm sort of aware of all of this stuff, and I know you know, if you follow me and you've seen previous talks and stuff, I know I've talked about this stuff in the past as well. It's always super useful and super interesting to see how other people present the same content, because you learn so much then, because you realise you get in a bit of a rut sometimes as well if you with some technology, and so it's good to see how somebody else approaches it and presents it, because then that can really help you sort of realise, I missed this thing, I didn't think about this thing. So I think, I'm going to pop that one in as well. Cool. I'm going to skip over the Power Platform stuff. Nothing, and I might come back to the Power Virtual Agent stuff possibly. I might come back to some of those and the list one, just because you can't add them all. We'll see if I've got any gaps. So business voice, I need to start being a bit more selective now, because this sort of happens as well. You end up adding everything, and then slowly over time you realize as you go through the list, you're like, well, I can't add everything. I'm interested to see what Jason is going to say about Microsoft Voice. That's interesting. I might come back to that one, only because it's kind of like outside of, again, sphere of like, as it's thinking as a developer, how relevant is like the Microsoft Voice stuff is super interesting, and so is Operator Connect is interesting as well, actually. And Matt's a good speaker, so interesting. Tough choices. Operator Connect, I might actually. I'm gonna add both of these sessions in, and we might end up taking them out again later, but we'll see. So we add them in, and then let's add in this one as well. Okay. Devices. I'm going to skip over devices just because, again, got to draw the border. No slight against Martin or anything like that. Or Logitech, actually. They do some really nice devices. I'm using their headset at the moment, and I really like it. Productivity. So there's loads in productivity. Is this the last one? No, not quite. Oh, there's loads. Okay, so there's quite a few in productivity, so you need to be super selective. Bill is talking about AI changing the world of work. So I went to a superb session of Bill's in which I can't remember exactly what it was now. There was a dinosaur involved. It was for one of the Ignite tour sessions. So this is interesting. You can talk about the background of AI. That's interesting. So Bill will have great experience and lots of things to say actually around AI. So just kind of based on the fact that I know it'll be a good session, I'm going to pop him in the agenda. And let's have a look. That's going to be interesting. But so this is the problem, because different sessions peak different parts of your life or you're trying to achieve. So 15 Teams apps for better productivity has nothing to do with me as a Microsoft Teams developer, particularly, other than it's good to watch these sessions for ideas. But actually, as somebody who's trying to be more productive in the day and trying to get more done, actually, this is kind of interesting. I might pop this one in as well. I'm going to have a lot of on-demand to watch, aren't I? This is the problem. There's so many good sessions here. There really are. So reminders to speakers to upload your profile pictures. You try really hard to kind of look at the title and the abstract, but people without pictures, it makes it way easier to kind of flip past them. I don't know why that is. It just is. It's probably something about, it's I don't know, process something about me more than anything else. But I'm going to skip over hybrid workplace strategy because I'm not, thankfully, responsible for managing anyone's hybrid workplace. Kind of interested about sort of deployment and managing of Teams devices, but again, devices I'm going to try and stay out of just because you've got to make some hard choices. Same with things like PEXIP. Again, trying to stay outside. Just kind of, you just got to kind of pick. You got to pick your battles, haven't you? Let's just have a look through these. These look good. Tuning in and out what matters in Microsoft Teams is interesting. Chief Communications Officer. I wonder where. So I'm reading the abstract. Lots of noise. That's true. How do you get focused on what matters to you? So this is now, I'm going to look at the session cut. So it's level 200. So it's not kind of, I feel like it's going to be a bit more than just, set up notifications. So this might be quite interesting, actually. Let's pop this in and we'll see what it does for everything else. Oh, a little bit of lag on my mouse. Hopefully that will sort itself out. I've got a new mouse on order actually because I'm trying to figure out the cause of mouse lagginess, and there is nothing more frustrating than a laggy mouse. I've just ordered a cheap wired mouse to see if it's actually just that, because this is it's a fairly cheap Microsoft wireless mouse, but it's always been all right until recently. I can't work out if it's the computer or the mouse. Anyway. All right, how to have the best Teams meetings. All roads leads to Teams, working with tasks. Oh, I should look at that really because I'm terrible at using tasks. I don't do it very well. Kevin McDonald talking. And also Viva by Sarah. Okay, so let's just have a look at this Viva. This is a 100 session by Sarah. She's a Microsoft 365 trainer. I need to know more about Viva than I do. Okay, I'm going to put this in and we'll see. So conferences are a good, easy way to get upskilled on things you ought to know about but don't. And the power of search. This is a good one as well. There's going to be no time. I'm going to be double booked everywhere, aren't I? Okay. Let's put this in and we'll see. This one's been cancelled, so that's an easy choice. Teamwork. So we've got 4 in teamwork. Let's have a look. It's all about tasks, empowering people. Again, a bit of Microsoft Learning Pathway. I'm not, with no offense to any of these speakers, I'm not seeing anything that immediately jumps out to me, and that's fine. Everybody has different wants and needs, and what appeals to some won't appeal to others. You're probably looking at this saying, why aren't you going to, why aren't you going to see this session? Why aren't you going to, this is a great speaker, and that that's fine. It's the way it is really. You kind of have to choose the things that's right for you. And then use cases, let's have a look. So we've got the battle for Teams. We've got something being brutally honest, using Teams voice in customer service. Interesting. James Cadman, is he Microsoft? Oh no, he's Luware. Okay, that's interesting. So they'll know some stuff about contact centers and other things. That's interesting. We'll see. It's kind of interesting, always interesting to hear from other partners about using the Teams development interaction points. So I might pop that one in just to get kind of feedback from the field, if you like. All right, so that's where we start. So let's refresh this agenda. And so now we've got a lot of sessions in here, and there's probably horrendous overlap. So let's have a look. So we've got Wednesday. So it's all on Wednesday the 15th. What I can't see with this agenda is obviously it's broken up by track, but I can't see the overlaps in time. So let's just have a look. In some ways, it doesn't matter. At this point, you could completely leave this and just show up on the day. And then when it gets to 9 o'clock, you're not choosing between all of the 9 o'clock sessions. You're then saying, well, 9 o'clock is a bad example probably because it's the keynote. Let's choose the next one, this 10:45 session. Then you can make an easy choice between, do I want to go and see this adoption one, or do I want to go and see this voice one, or this productivity one? And those are the only choices you've then got to make. So you're then only choosing between 3 or 4 sessions each time. And that is easier than trying to choose across and making those decisions. So I might kind of leave this as it is because, like I say, I'm not going to get to every session that's in this agenda list. But what this does give me is a place to come back and understand what to do for the on-demand sessions, and what to catch up on and what to keep a pulse on as well, because often you can make some hard choices between 2 different sessions, and you're in one and it's really, really good and you're getting all the good content and you know about the other one, and you're kind of a bit on the fence as to, should I get the on-demand for this or should I just let it go? And then you get loads of feedback on Twitter and loads of praise for the session, and you're like, oh, okay, I should really go and watch that one on demand. So it's helpful to know what to look for as well. So for all of those reasons, it's worth, I think, adding a bit more into your agenda than you really think you're going to be able to achieve on the day. And you want to leave good gaps in don't treat this as like your day plan. Okay, your day plan at a conference, especially, so let's just talk for in-person people for a minute. In-person attendees, don't treat the agenda as your day plan. There's so many more things to do at the in-person event. You need to catch up with everyone. You haven't seen everyone for like 18 months. You need to network. You need to talk. You need to experience. You need to rest. You need to eat. You need to do all these other things and the session content. Use the agenda of the session content as one of the things you can do on the day. But remember that what you've made yourself is a nice bookmark of on-demand sessions as well. Virtual folks, kind of the same actually. Because you're attending virtually, unfortunately, your co-workers, your bosses, your customers, your partners are not super, I don't know there's no nice way to say this. They're not super respectful of virtual attendees. And so they will just kind of assume you're at work most of the time. That's my experience anyway, unless you try and fight really hard to make that not happen. So you're not probably going to get to all the sessions in your session list anyway, even if you weren't double booked like I am, like ridiculously so double booked. So don't worry about that either. Again, use it as a chance for on demand. So this is my kind of provisional agenda, I think, for day one. Pretty excited, actually. I hadn't really been through the agenda list in any great detail beforehand. So it was nice to go through it. It's great to go through it with you. It's a good way of forcing me to the time as well to look through it, because often it happens the night before, and that's not ideal either. So yeah, this is really good. Yeah, really good list of speakers, I think. Really exciting and great list of kind of titles. So hope this was useful. It's just an insight into the way I choose sessions. I'll do it again for the day 2, but I'll probably do it next week now. So yeah, hope it's been useful. And however it is you choose your sessions, let me know. Yeah. If you're going to be at Comsverse in person, come and say hello, please. I'm going to be doing some filming and stuff, but please come and say hello. I'd love to catch up with you. I'd love to find out what you're doing. If you're attending virtually, say hello on Twitter. Give me your feedback. Let me know how the conference is going for you. Let me know what the experience is like. Yeah, whatever else it is you're doing this week, have a really good one. And I will talk to you again next time.